Today we're going to be working on the change of position exercise, place bowl, pivoting, walking backwards, send outs, and figure eights. Go ahead and get your dogs. Let's get started. Now we're going to start doing some training. First thing we're going to do is simple change of position exercises. So we're going to take Charlie. Charlie, come here, buddy. With the change of position, what I want you to be able to do, I know I showed you guys this the other day, but we're going to try to do it right now, is have a simple cue that's going to get your dog to go from the sit to the stand, back to the sit, and then the down. Super simple. Back up to the sit, back up to the down, back up to the sit, back up to the sit. Right? That's it. Super simple. So I just want you to get the dog to go from the sit to the stand to the down to the stand to the sit to the down. Good. Get them to sit. Good. Get them to down. Very good. Back up into a stand without the sit. There you go. Back into a down. Good. Back into a stand. Back into a sit. There you go. Much better. Back into the sit. Excellent. Back into the stand. Very good. Nicely done, Tim. And now let's see if you can do the stand. The stand is usually pretty difficult with a new dog. There we go. That was good. Nice. So if I have to bring my hand away a little bit to get him to come up, which you did, it's fine. Once he starts to come up, then I'll tuck underneath to get the back legs to pop out a little bit farther. Let's see if he's going to do it for me. So if I need to bring him forward like you did, I can, then I want to do that. And see how his back legs popped out a little bit more? That's exactly what you want to do. There we go, good. Very nice. So now let's get a stand. All right, so this is the same issue that she was having. Can I get a piece of food? So I'm having to finesse my hand movement a little bit to get him to move forward. Just enough to get him to stand. Come on, buddy. There, now I pop him back.
So now you get used to it.
Yeah.
So now you get used to when you do it, it kind of tucks his...
Yeah, and by making him walk forward, that's going to get him to bring up those legs a little bit. Then we tuck underneath, which is going to pop up that back end. So let's do a stand again. Get him to move forward. And then tuck under. There we go. Good. All right, let's get him back up into the stand. Very good. Back into the stand. Very good. See how he's starting to pop now in each position? All right, very good. Whenever you're done, go ahead and end it. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to guide your dog onto the bowl. Of course, once he places a paw on the bowl, then we can mark and reward, or just reward. Then what I want you to do is get your dog to pivot. So you see how he's pivoting? That's what we're looking for. When you first start, your dog's not going to know to pivot, but the moment they take that first step, that's what you mark and reward. So he's starting to pivot around. Very nice. Good. Now get him to go the other way. Keep the paws on it. We want to maintain it. This all plays in with your food handling. How good are you at handling food? All right. Very good. Back the other way. Keep those front paws on. We're going to add more to it too. This is just the first step. All right, that's good. Nicely done, Tim. Good. Get those paws back on and start working that pivot. And I like that you're resupplying your hand each time. That's good practice to do. And that's going to be the same way you're going to want to do it when you're doing the backwards follow exercise. All right, that's good for Charlie.
Try to change it a little bit.
And depending on your dog's perseverance is going to depend on how much you're rewarding them when you're trying to get them to do the behavior. A dog with lower perseverance, they're eating the whole time. Higher perseverance, you can make them work a little bit harder for it. Beautiful. And this is what we want to see. We want that dog to be aware of their back end and understanding that they can pivot their back end to get access to the food. Beautiful. Very good. Excellent. All right, that's good for him.
Willow.
Yep.
I don't think he wants these.
And he's getting distracted. Oh, there we go. Reward that. Yes.
No, he.
So that I would have marked. Yes. Very good. Nice puppy. This is why markers are so important. That's good. Go ahead and grab him. The more aware of the leash pressure you are, the more aware of the leash pressure your dog will be. The less aware of it you are, the less aware of it your dog will be.
Come on. Yes.
Very good. Nice. So that was easy.
Yes.
There you go. Good. Nice.
Yes. Good boy.
When you guys are working a puppy, you can't be taking a lot of time to resupply. It needs to be while you're working. You need to be continual. So hold them in one spot and pivot them around. Right, and this is all just part of simple luring, because this is going to come into play when you're doing something like a left about turn, right? You could just use that power steering. Now, with the left about turn, students in the past, it used to frustrate me. They'd be training their dogs for a little while, and now they're trying to do the left about turn, and instead of using a lure, they would turn and they would pop the dog. And I'd go, why are you correcting the dog? And they go, well, he's not doing it yet. I said, you've only done a few hundred reps, do a few thousand. That's a difficult exercise. The left about turn, just to do it is hard. So we have to do a lot of reps, but this is what it's for. It's to help with that pivoting. So you can pivot in place either way. And you can manipulate your dog's position with the power steering. See how he's starting to pivot? Your hand's much better. Now, just pivot in one spot and keep him in your heel position. This goes all into handling. So notice he's staying in the sit. It's how you're holding it up. The dog's going to do how we manipulate them with our hands. And Charlie's a good demonstration to know whether or not you're doing it right, because Charlie will follow your lure. All right, and then just a nice little pivot. Keep pivoting around. Let's do a full circle. All right, excellent. That's good for now. Free.
Oh boy.
And it's easier to learn something like this on a dog that already knows it. It's way more difficult when you're trying to teach it and you're trying to learn it.
Oops, we dropped it. I dropped it. Hi.
And if you need to, get his attention. You can pull the leash to get his attention. All right, nice. Now reset, go back to that line. Good, walk backwards, and then swing him back into the heel position. Very good, and then just walk forward again. Rewarding. Try to keep his chest aligned with your legs.
And we're done, buddy. No more treats for you.
Very good. All right, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Good, now pivot left. Excellent, that looks really good. So this one is getting the dog to walk backwards. So first getting him to walk backwards, but then getting him to walk backwards onto the climb platform. So I'm gonna bring him into position now. I gotta get him to walk backwards. So walk backwards. And then, oh, see, he's avoiding it. That's what you gotta do, that's it. That's good, nice adjusting. All right, success, 10 passes. There we go, beautiful. Now what you're gonna start seeing is he's going to start reaching with his back leg to find it after we do it a few more times. All right, beautiful. Very nice. That's what I like to see. Very good.
Yes.
Excellent.
Good boy. Yes.
Very nice.
Good boy. One more. Yes. Still got kibble left over and a lot of
All right,
slop.
that was very nicely done. All right, who else? Oh, he eats plenty. Yeah, once you establish a high food drive, then you don't have to worry about making him work for every bite of food anymore. I could give Charlie 2 full meals and take him out and he'll still train for food. 'Cause that's the same with Ari. Ari will do the same. It's because I built the food drive in the beginning. Is everyone starting to see how everything's the same? It's all connected. The more you start to understand dog training, the more you start to realize it's all the same stuff. And what we're really doing is you're developing a skill set. So now this next one that we're going to be doing is the send out. We're going to start the way that I like to start with puppies. Tim's going to do is he's going to be the resupplier of the reward. The reward is going to be on the bowl. We're using the bowl as a target. So I want you to stand here. You're going to load. Each time you load, you're going to move away. Once he takes the treat, wait till he comes back to me, then you'll reload it. Okay, so I'll let you know when to load the food. So go ahead and put the first piece. Charlie, sit. So you want to place your dog next to you. You're going to aim with your hand, knife hand, thumb along the hand. You're going to point, and then you're just going to walk towards it and let your dog take it. You're going to bring your dog back, guide him back into the heel position, resupply. Aim with your hand, then walk forward and let the dog take it. We're not doing any commands right now. And I'm also waiting for him to look where the hand is pointing. Very good. Very good. And notice he stopped there. If he started to go on his own, I would have let him go. But once he stopped, I went, okay, you need help, and I kept going.
I stepped
Very
out
good.
with my right foot there. Never do that. It's illegal. Yes.
Another thing that's nice about this when you're training with someone, you start working on the recall too, because your dog will automatically start to run back to you. Once they get the treat, see how he's already starting to do it? And then it also helps with the flip finish and the heel position. So it's working multiple things in this one exercise.
Ready? This way. This way. Come on. Right there.
And that's about the max distance I would do with him right now. You don't have to go very far away, just getting him to understand the concept of going to the target to get the reward. So for the figure 8, it should be about 8 feet. So we just do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about 8 roughly. All right, so when you're heeling around, remember what I said, that your dog has to slow down on the inside? All you really have to do is a bunch of reps. And then on this one, they have to speed up. So I encourage them to speed up as I'm going around that. But this is what you should work on with cones or something like that at your house. Getting them to slow down, and we're just using that power steering. And then speed up on the outside. That's it. Same thing with all the luring that we're doing. When we're doing that constant lure, it's not teaching the dog heel. It's getting their muscle memory in place. So then when you start removing that constant assistance and you get them to look at your face and we start taking all those additional steps, it'll flow together nicely. So we were going over the first test requirement is going to be on the step-by-step process that I like to follow when training a dog. Now with your own dogs, it is going to be slightly different. This is more directed towards training pet dogs. So at the very beginning, it is very comparable to everything else we do as well. The only one that's a little different is going to be leash pressure. But step 1, do you remember engagement training? Step 2, luring. Step 3, leash pressure. Step 4, adding the command. Step 5, teaching the stay using the leash pressure. Step 6, adding corrections for reliability. Whatever comes first is what your dog is learning. And so what I mean by that, let's imagine that we have different boxes, right? So we have box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. Box 1, when we're teaching engagement training, is the marker, right? Box 2, we give the dog the food. So what are we teaching the dog? Whatever's in box 1, which is the marker. Step 2, when we're doing luring, what comes in the first box? The lure. Then the dog does the behavior, so then we mark it. Then we give the dog the food. So then in the next step, when we're teaching leash pressure, what comes first? The leash pressure. What comes next? The lure. Then we mark. Then we reward. When we start adding the commands, what comes in the first box? The command. Then we add the lure or the leash pressure. Then we mark. Then we reward. Now, if we think about this, then we can understand that we can use this in different scenarios. Now, let's say, here's another good example. Let's say your dog knows the climb command, but you're trying to teach the send out command. The send out is where you have your dog next to you, you tell your dog run, and your dog takes off. So if your dog knows a climb command, how can you use that to help teach a send out? Does anyone have any ideas?
Maybe you stand a little bit further away and you tell him climb and he has to run towards the climb.
You're in the right direction. Exactly. Okay. There's two different ways the send out is done. You guys are going to have to do both. One is for AKC send out. You have your dog in a sit and you go run and your dog takes off. In Schutzen, you have your dog in a heel and you go run and you send the dog. And the dog has to run in front of you, right? If your dog doesn't know climb from a distance, you have to start close and build that up. But what I do is I get right next to the climb, I aim and I go run, climb, dog does it, I free him up, I get more distance, run, climb. After enough of those, I say run, the dog takes off looking for the climb bed. And we just keep adding distance. You're working a downstay with your dog and your dog is doing great. And so you're feeling pretty confident. And you come to this field and you put your dog in a downstay over by the dock diving pool. And again, you're feeling pretty good and you walk away. You're not watching your dog. You get all the way to the end and you turn around and your dog is running towards you, all happy and excited. And your dog's roughly right here and you're down there. You turn around, what do?
Negative reinforcement markers and walk them back.
Okay, so you say, you turn around, you go wrong, and you take the dog back. Okay, what would you do? You'd let him come to you.
I'd let him come. Because if he's halfway, if I didn't see him break and he's halfway to me, I can't punish him because he's going to think I'm punishing him for coming to me.
Exactly. That's the answer I was looking for. The wrong wouldn't be terrible. The no wouldn't be good. Because, yeah, then you're correcting the dog. Your dog's like, woohoo, I'm coming to you. No, right. You lost that opportunity. You missed that window. So I do what Tim says. I go, yay, good puppy. And then I restart.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to share your training sessions at home with me by tagging @NateSchomer. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next session.